Hello Sagittarius and welcome to Wild Fox Alchemy. If we haven't met before, my name is Maria Guyan. I'm an intuitive business success coach, tarot card reader and green witch. And I'm here today to do your business reading for September the 6th to the 12th. So without further ado, I'll shut up and let's get going. We start with this card. This is a Magic of You card by Fiona Horn. This is card number 15, Maximus. How can you feed others when your own table is empty? If you see there, I think you can see there's the one bulb lit with the moths flying around it. The other two have gone out already. And there's the table with nobody there. There's no food. There's no nothing. I'm going to read from the book on this one because Fiona has a lovely way of putting things. You are maxed out, and yet conversely more is needed. More nourishment for yourself. You are spread too thin and your life force is draining. How can you feed others when your own table is empty? A new idea is waiting to be cultivated, as evidenced by the flame in the bulb. Or perhaps it's time to stop sitting on an idea you've had for some time. The moths are starting to gather, and as lovely as they are, they will slowly blot out your light. It's time to feed yourself in order to cultivate and harvest your next crop. Stop focusing on everyone else and the role you play in their lives. Till your own soil. Serve yourself the fruits of your own labour. The table is set with fine silver on a blood-red cloth. In fact, the blood is pooling and indicating that your life force is draining. Capture it now and fill your cup. What is the purpose of these fine things if they are not used? There's a ritual. Fiona always puts a ritual on these cards, and I will share them with you because they are really powerful. Set the table using your finest creative flair. Nourish your body with quality foods and sensual textures and tastes. Eat alone. With a red pen, write the creative and self-nourishing thoughts that come to you on a sheet of white paper. When your meal is complete, fold the paper over and press your lips upon it as if it were a napkin. Know that the ideas are taking root in the fertile cauldron of your being. This is something that a lot of women are guilty of. We are born nurturers. We're born full to the brim with compassion, at least most of us are. We have this tendency to want to put other people first. In fact, we're groomed to put other people first all our lives. That's the way women are often raised, that we are servants to our children, servants to our partners. Things are changing slightly, but I still feel that there's that inherent view that, you know, the husband wants the dinner on the table no matter whether you've done 8 hours of work or not. The children still need looking after, and there are still men out there that don't lift a finger. So what happens is we put everybody else first, and then we run out. We run out of our own fuel. It's kind of this old airplane principle where everybody says, you know, you put your own oxygen mask on first, because if you pass out before you put an oxygen mask on your child, then nobody's putting the oxygen mask on your child. However, if you put your oxygen mask on first, you are then in a position, a strong position, to be able to help other people. And this is what this message is about, Sagittarius, and it's a very serious message. Compassionate women in business think more about other people than they do themselves, they really do. But the thing is, if we're working 24/7 or caring for others on top and overworking, we are in danger of burnout, and then we help nobody, do we? And I've made this mistake several times. I've made this mistake to the point of catastrophe. I would find it really difficult to say no. These days I've learnt to set a lot of boundaries and to make sure that I do fill my cup when I need it. How do you fill your cup? Well, first of all, set boundaries on your time. Don't be working every hour God sends. I know sometimes, especially if you're short on money, it can feel like the more work you do, the more success you'll have, but it isn't like that. More often, ideas will come when you move away from your workspace, when you go and do something different, when you go for a walk, when you take a shower, when you have a bath, that sort of thing. Get outside in nature and just free your mind for a little bit. Meditate. Make sure you're eating well. Make sure you're exercising every day. Make sure that you do have some downtime. Make sure that you sleep well, that you've got a really good sleep routine. Sleep is so important. It's one of the biggest, most important pillars to mental health and wellness. And so sleep is just absolutely vital. Make sure that you are not running around after other people, and that if somebody asks you to do something when you are feeling tired or you just don't have the time, you say no. I'm giving you permission today. Spirit is giving you permission today to say no and take care of your own needs. I really want you to hear this, Sagittarius, because I do feel it's a big problem in this world. There's kind of a kudos in being busy and hustling and saying, you know, I have 3 hours sleep a night and I work all the time, all the hours of the day, and I run the household, and I have 10 children to care for. It's not something to be proud of. What's to be proud of is saying, you know what, I take an hour every afternoon to read a book that I want to read. I take an hour every evening to just soak in a bath. I take half an hour every day to just walk and think, and walk and think. I make space to meditate. I eat properly. I make sure I sit down to a meal. I don't eat on the go. That's a better way of being, and it will fill your cup. So let's see what else we've got. Oh, we've got the Four of Feathers, Sanctuary and Rest. We've got the Four of Shells, Soul Searching and Reevaluation. There's a theme coming too here, isn't there? There's the Eight of Feathers, Courage and Solutions. And then we've got the Five of Feathers, Strategy and Resilience. So we've got a lot of feather energy here, which is really all about intellect and thoughts. It's about your rational mind. It's about facts and communication. And we start with the Four, which is about sanctuary and rest, meditation, quieting the mind and grounding your thoughts, which is just a continuation, really, on what we were just talking about. That you need to take time. You need to take time for yourself. I feel like you've been running around like what my granny, who comes to me sometimes, says is a blue-arsed fly. You're worn out, aren't you, Sagittarius? Maybe you've had the kids and been trying to run a business over the summer. Maybe you've had holidays to organise, lots of different things going on, and now you're just in desperate need of a rest. And these messages are telling you it's time to take one for your own sake. It's not selfish. It's not the wrong thing to do. It's the right thing to do, Sagittarius. You really need to look after yourself. It moves into the Four of Shells, which is about emotional stability and grounding yourself before making choices. So again, this is about you taking time out to soul search, to meditate, to quiet the mind. This is a very strong message here that you need to ground your thoughts and calm your mind. I sense a lot of anxiety. And this could be about your personal situation. It could be about your business. There's a lot of anxiety here. And I think your instinctive gut reaction is to just do more. To just do more and more and more things in the hope that it will fix things. And Spirit is saying to you now, no, stop. Stop. And just take a moment. Because, quite honestly, and I've been in crisis myself before, and I know what it's like when your thoughts are racing and you think, must do this, must do that. You've got a to-do list as long as your arm, and it just feels insurmountable. And what I want to say to you is that time is not running out. It might feel like it is, but time is not running out for you. It won't hurt you to take half a day, 2 days, to go and replenish your energy. And if that is as simple as taking a nap in the afternoon, do it. It could be as simple as you just going and sitting in a park for an hour or two and just watching the world go by. But it's vitally important that you do this. There is a need here for some soul searching and reevaluation. And you need to make some choices here. This is about emotional stability, this Four of Shells. If your business and your lifestyle are creating so much stress and anxiety for you, maybe it's time for a rethink. Maybe it's time for you to consider how you can change things. Now I'm going to give you an example of a recent client who came to me, and they're an artist, and they are burned out, stressed out, and making no money. So I said, what's happening? Explain to me what is happening. And they said, well, I make artwork and I take commissions only. I don't make anything passive, I just take commissions only. So people will come to me and say, can you create this item for me? And I make the item. And they said the problem is that over the last few months they've had some big bills come in. And in order to make the money to meet those bills, they've had to go out and take on more and more commissions. So they've taken the money for the commissions and then been left with a lot of work to do. The next bill has come in and they've panicked because there's no money. The last lot of money went towards whatever the other bill was. And so there's no money. So what do? They go straight out and open up commissions again and say, do you want some artwork? I need money, therefore come and have a commission. And the thing that they do as well is they reduce the prices of their commissions in order to encourage people to purchase. Oh, there's no judgment here. This person is quite a young person, and they just cried when they told me what was going on. So we had to find an answer to this, and the reevaluation and the soul searching happened. And we realised together that taking commissions on is not the answer for this person's business. They are trading time for money to a point that is exhausting them. They said they got well over 150 hours worth of artwork outstanding and no money coming in just to clear these commissions. So we're looking at a completely different business model now, including some passive income where artwork is created and then sold. One-to-many instead of just one-to-one work all the time. So hopefully this is going to turn the business around. And this could be what you need to look at. If you're in such a state that you are stressed, anxious, just overwhelmed and burned out, how can you pivot your business and your lifestyle even? You know, what is it that you can let go of that would make life easier? What help could you ask for? You know, is it possible that letting the kids go to a childminder or a childcare centre or something like that for a couple of hours a day could help? And I know that that's a financial outlay, but imagine, you know, the amount of time you would free up, the amount of space you would free up to be able to get on with what you're doing to make more money in your business. It's not wrong to want to make more out of doing less. I would highly recommend the book Chillpreneur by Denise Duffield Thomas. And I'll put a link in the description because it's such a great book. Denise is a money block coach, and she deals with people's blockages when it comes just to their finances. But she is very big on busting myths about making money and business. And one of the biggest myths that she deals with is that you have to work ridiculously hard and you have to hustle 24/7 to make any money or to be successful in your business. And that was kind of the way that a lot of us were raised, especially my generation, that, you know, if you were sitting on your bum just doing not very much, then, you know, you didn't deserve or had no right to claim money. And so Denise has written this fabulous book that is very anti-hustle and is more about doing what fills your cup and working in a business that fulfills you rather than drives you crazy because you just feel like every minute of every day you're hustle, hustle, hustle. So that's my recommendation to you, Sagittarius. We move into the Eight of Feathers. And this is a card that is about limiting beliefs. So here we are again, actually. This is quite bizarre. That this is about you feeling mental anguish, feeling blindfolded, not being able to see your choices, not being able to see any solutions. You feel like there are no choices, that you're stuck in the way that you're doing things. And Spirit's trying to tell you here, you're not. Again, open that book, Chillpreneur. It's often on offer. You know, if you're short on money, it's often on offer for 99 cents or whatever on Amazon. Look out for it. It really is a great book to help you sort out some solutions to what is going on. There are many practical solutions and there are many mindset solutions to what's going on. If you're feeling overwhelmed and out of touch, you know, book a session with me and we can work out how you can fix this business issue and get off this treadmill. You know, often when I see this little mouse on the Eight of Feathers, I think of him being caged. And that's the feeling that I get around this card, that you feel caged and there's no way out. But there is a way out. I love the subconscious mind. I've studied the subconscious mind. I'm trained in contacting and connecting with the subconscious mind. Subconscious mind is habitual. It's a creature of habit. It's a creature of familiarity. Every thought we have creates a neural pathway in our brains. And it's a bit like a country path, I always think, a path in the woods where sometimes when you first start walking, the path can be blocked by grasses and trees and rocks. But if you walk that path every day, suddenly a very worn path starts to appear. Your brain prefers to go along the well-worn path. It doesn't like creating new paths. So quite often you will not find solutions to your problems by yourself because your mind is fixed. It's not very good at thinking outside the box. So often we need to read something from somebody else's perspective, watch something from somebody else's perspective. We can talk to other people and find out how they solve these issues, and suddenly a blinding recognition will occur. And you will realise that you do have choices, that there are options open to you and you can think differently. And that is what I feel this reading is telling you. It's time to think differently. You're not happy with the situation as it is. And I don't see how you could be if you're burned out and overwhelmed. So it is time to end all this. End all this hamster wheel. It leads us to the 5 of Feathers, which is about strategy and resilience. This has got a lot of feelings of disappointment and loss, a feeling like you've been challenged, but there's no winners in any sort of argument around whatever's going on. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to clarify this card with the Rider-Waite deck, because I don't feel like you're getting the full story here, and Spirit always likes to elaborate on things that are a little bit, unclear. I think strategy is a big deal here, honestly, because I feel like strategy and resilience are the keys to you getting through this situation that you feel that you're in. I think you could be feeling a bit disappointed that you can't carry all this weight of responsibility. We've got the 3 of Wands there, which is about foresight and exploration. It's about having some plans and then looking at how you can make them happen. So this kind of goes back to this soul searching and reevaluation there with the 4 of Shells, because you need a new plan. Don't carry on going the way that you're going. It's time for this to stop. You've got to get off this treadmill. And so there we are. We're being told to have a bit of exploration, to have a look at how you can change things, and then to have the self-confidence to make those plans happen. What else have we got, Spirit? I've got the Knight of Swords there, and he is all about taking action. But he is a reminder, and Spirit always likes to bring this up. The Knight of Swords is a reminder that you should avoid busy work, that the work you should be doing is what I call income producing activity, IPA. So many of us fall into the trap of pursuing things that don't actually do anything for us. I wrote a couple of blog posts recently about social media and about how to choose what platforms to market your business on, especially if you're like me and you don't really like social media very much. You find it a time suck. You find the people that are on it sometimes aren't very pleasant. And then when you look at your analytics, maybe it doesn't do anything for you. Maybe you're not getting any traffic from it. Maybe you're not getting any customers from it. But yet you've been told by all the gurus that you have to put in all this time and effort into social media. This is something that I say is not an income producing activity. Putting a video on YouTube as a marketing tool could well be an income producing activity, because it will market your business for now, today, and in 10 years' time. It's always searchable, it's always there. If you want to make a Pinterest pin, the same thing applies. The Pinterest pin will stay there forever and a day, always searchable. Your Facebook posts do not, they disappear in the space of half an hour and people never see them again. So why spend hours and hours and hours posting things on social media? unless you have a social media platform that really brings you loads of clients. And I know some people do, I'm not knocking that. There are some people who create Facebook groups and they sell everything through their Facebook presence. It used to be really easy to do that, and people that built businesses a few years ago are still capitalising on it. But for me, a lot of it is a waste of time. And a lot of these companies are not aligned with my values and ethics, and maybe you feel the same. Maybe you go on social media and just feel completely demotivated, unhappy, possibly even depressed by what you see there and by the results that you're getting. You end up getting obsessed with numbers and followers and all the rest of it, but it doesn't really make you any money. So what Spirit is saying now is just beware of the busy work. Beware that you are not doing things that don't actually lead to you making any money, because it's a big trap to fall into. So I'm going to pull one more card. Oops, I was going to pull one more card. I've got some jumpers. And I got the Emperor there. And the Emperor is all about setting rules, setting boundaries, what's right and wrong, stability. He's a great card for people in business. This is your message. It's about you changing the rules now and doing what makes you happy, what fits with what you want, and filling your own cup. Absolutely filling your own cup. Because if you don't, this situation is never going to change. Okay? Now, interestingly, I pulled another one. Yeah. And it was a repeat. That is the Five of Swords, which is a repeat of this Five of Feathers. It is definitely about you needing to be resilient and be patient. It might not happen overnight. You may not be able to cut lots of things out of your business overnight. But keep going, because the last card I pulled was the Wheel of Fortune. It's a turning point. This is a change. There's a lot of possibility for you here, Sagittarius, but you need to make some changes, and then you will feel the benefits of it. So there's no point being in business if you are miserable, burnt out, overwhelmed. And like I said, if that's you, if this is resonating with you, why not book a session with me? Because I do intuitive business success sessions, and I bring the cards into it if necessary, but I have a lot of coaching experience and business experience, and between me and Spirit we can help you move forward, and we can help you see the wood for the trees. Right, Sagittarius, I'm going to leave that there. Please leave a comment if you enjoyed this. Like, subscribe. I'd love that. I appreciate every single comment, like, and subscribe I get. I celebrate every single one. I appreciate every person that listens to these messages. And I'm going to go and have a drink, and I'll see you again soon with love and magic always. This is Maria Guines signing out. Bye-bye for now.